Hi, welcome back to our channel. I feel like it's been a minute, right? But if you're new on this channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe. This is a request video, so this request is coming from Temi. She made a request based on an earlier video that we did about accommodation in Calgary. Let's see if we can compare the different regions of Calgary as regards transportation and shopping and just general, ease of living in that region. So that's what this video is about. So yeah, let's get started. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the wake up, get out the sheets. So Calgary is in Alberta, and people like to move here because the cost of living is relatively cheap compared to places like Ontario and British Columbia. Those are other provinces that are a bit more expensive than Calgary, Alberta. And then, so Calgary is sort of divided into 4 quadrants. That is the northwest, we have the southwest, we have the northeast, and the southeast. So when you give your address in Calgary, usually it's something like 100, being your building number, 4th Street, Southwest Calgary. So you mentioned that quadrant that you are in. And of course, you have the postcode. That's how we, use addresses here in Calgary. I have lived in all of the quadrants of the city. So when I moved to Calgary in 2018, I was living with a friend in the northwest, a place called Panorama. Yes, a place called Panorama. I was there for a few months. Then I moved to my own apartment. And then as we say this is also like something that somebody that's just moving to Calgary can, learn from. What I did, because I was the only one that landed. I first, put up with a friend for a few months in the northwest. You want to save the bills. You don't want to land and you already want to start spending on so many things. So from there, I got a shared apartment, which also was, saving on spending. I got a shared apartment in the southeast in a place called Copperfield. So if you've lived in any of these places, put a comment down below. And then from the southeast, I moved to, a bigger apartment because my wife was coming to join me there in the northeast. And finally, me and my wife moved together to the southwest. So I happen to have gone round. So starting with northwest. So the northwest is good for if you are sort of settled in, and by that I mean you have a family and you want to just have that, relaxed, suburban, chilled vibe. You don't want any noise, you don't want any, just a calm, peaceful environment. Where I lived was sort of like that. And unfortunately, transportation wasn't the best. It was decent. So one thing, Calgary, generally, the transportation system isn't great. Depending on where you are living, where most places that live in Calgary, you are advised to get a car. That's why most people, when they land here, the first thing one of the first things that are thinking of doing is get a car. So I lived in the northwest, and the commute there, like I said, it wasn't terrible, but the buses would drop you, like 5 to 10 minutes away from where I was living. So when the bus would drop me, I would just walk another 10 minutes. And then shopping too, shopping was about another 5 to 10 minutes drive from where I was living. So that was in northwest. So if you're a student also, the northwest may be a good place for you to live in, because we have the University of Calgary that's somewhere in the northwest. So if you need to you can get an apartment somewhere in the northwest, and you can easily just shuttle between school and home. And then, so that's about the northwest. Then moving on from there, I moved to the southeast. So the southeast, where I was, like I said, it was called Copperfield. I really love the southeast. We had some strip malls around Copperfield, so shopping was a bit easier. And then, earlier I said it was like 10 minutes drive to get to the mall. And when I say the mall, I mean like Superstore or Walmart. Everybody knows Walmart. So Superstore is kind of like the Canadian version of Walmart. It's as big as Walmart, so you can use either one of them for your general house groceries. The other stores, like we call Save on Foods, we have Safeway, we have Co-op is short for cooperative. So Co-op, those ones are maybe a bit more expensive. So what I do is anything that we need to get like quickly, I will get them around any of those ones. But if we need to do bulk shopping for the family, I would drive to Superstore or Co-op. And when it was just me, when I didn't have a car, I would actually use the bus or use an Uber to any of those places, because I'm buying in bulk. So it's worth that extra transportation cost. So when I was in the southeast, the commute to the malls was shorter. It was like a 5-minute drive. But like I said, because transportation really sucks in Calgary, the driving that may take you 10 minutes would probably take you like 30 to 45 minutes if you were to use the bus. So yeah, and of course you have to time the bus time so that you get to the bus stop before it gets there and you don't miss the bus, all of that. So also depending on where you work, there's a lot of industrial companies in the southeast. So except you're working in any of those places that may be close to you, but if you're not in the industrial field, then you may find it's a bit of a commute to get to where you're working. But as regards, say, shopping, groceries and all of that, the way that area is sort of situated, all of the shopping is in one big block of area. So it's like ridiculous. Anything you want to get there. If you want to get stuff for the home, like if you're doing some home renovation or stuff for the home, for maybe you want to change the light bulb. You have Walmart directly opposite to that superstore that I mentioned. So whichever one you want to go for. And there are restaurants there too. Even by my house back then, there was a pizza shop, so I could just grab pizza, and there's a gas station beside it. So that place was actually perfect. The only problem with that was the commute. So for example, where I used to barb is in the northeast. We'll talk about the northeast after this. So for me to get to the northeast from southeast, so because they were like different, like opposite parts of the city, I would need to first of all, I would take a bus to the train station. The bus I would take, that train station is this last bus stop, so it's quite far. So it takes me about 45 minutes from my house to the train station. We have two train lines. We have the blue line and the red line. The red line goes to the southwest. The blue line goes to the northeast. Yeah, so to the north and then to the south. So because I was in the south, I need to first take the red line, come downtown, because that's where all of the trains pass, right? So the north will go, the blue line that attends to the north will go through downtown. The red line that attends to the south will also go through downtown. So I have to take a train that will take me first to downtown, then switch from the red line to that blue line, then go to northeast. It was ridiculous. So I would spend upward of about an hour, 30 minutes just to get to where I don't want to cut my hair, and then do the same trip back home again. So maybe it's like once in 2 months that I used to cut my hair, because it's just bloody crazy. So transportation, like I said, isn't great if you're living in that particular area of the southeast, and if you have any business downtown, it's going to be a pain to get there. But like I said, shopping is very decent. But the best place, moving on to the northeast now, the best place if you like food, if you want to eat, good food, like good natural food, if you are African and you want to eat African food, northeast is close to all of those things. So northeast, like everybody goes to the northeast to buy food, right? And then you have your Asian food. There's a T&T big supermarket there. You can grab Asian food and do your thing. There's a Walmart there, there's a superstore there. So northeast is basically like the hub, and transportation there is also epic because of, like I mentioned earlier, that blue line passes through the northeast, through the north. So that place is great for commute, for shopping. If you watch the video to this point, please subscribe, like. If you have any question, if you have any sort of video that you want to do, please drop it in the comments. We are going to do this sort of video before just talk about it. Oh yes, I need to talk about renting apartments in all those regions. So in my own personal experience now, for the northwest, of course, because I was living with somebody and we were sharing a basement, the rent, I think I remember, was about $800 per month for a one-bedroom basement. Of course, we had our own kitchen, so we didn't have any business with the upstairs tenants. We had an external entrance, which I love, by the way, so you have your own privacy. So the two types of basements that you can get here is one with your own private entrance and one without. So the one with private entrance, what that means is that I can, from the side of the house, there's an entrance that leads directly to the basement. The one without a private entrance means that I need to go into the main building and then go downstairs into the basement, which I don't really like because it's just a lot of privacy issues, right? So you have the main owners of the house, maybe watching TV and chilling, and then you just enter and everybody's looking at you like. So like I said, about $800. Then from there I moved to a shared apartment. So this one was a full house, right? I was sharing with two other tenants. There was one on the main floor with me, and there was another person in the basement. So the rent there was about $650. It was en suite, of course. So I had my own washroom and toilet. So like I would just bring my laptop into the room. The only reason I would go downstairs to the living room is maybe to cook, because that's where the kitchen is. To cook, make food, and of course I cook in bulk. Everybody has their own space in the fridge. There was no fights. I come downstairs, grab my food, warm it in the microwave, and go back upstairs to eat, go downstairs, wash my plate, stock. So it was good and it was cheap, $250 per month. So for that moment of time in my life, it was a perfect thing for me. So that's the southeast. Then the northeast is actually really cheap in terms of accommodation. So if you want to rent a place, if you want to buy an apartment, the northeast is really good. And of course, because of all the proximity to everything, I'm sure you're thinking, oh, northeast is probably the best place to move to. There is a caveat. I'm sure everybody, if anyone lives in Canada is watching this, like, hey, you're not going to mention that thing about the northeast, right? So northeast is sort of notorious for high crime rates. Yes. Unfortunately, there's high crime rate in the northeast. So personally, when I moved to the northeast and I told friends that, hey, I got an apartment, I just signed the lease, it's in the northeast. They say, you moved to the northeast, that place is this, that place is that, they stab people, they do this, they do that. I'm like, and you guys tell me now after I signed the lease? So, personally, I didn't experience any of it. Of course, I lived there for a year and nothing happened. And back then, I was working a job that I would come back home late at night. And I guess I was just lucky. But of course, after the 1 year lease, I moved my things out of the place because I didn't want to risk it, right? Then moving on to the southwest. So the southwest, I currently live in the southwest. I live in downtown. Downtown is in the southwest, among which, of course, other places. If you've seen our Kensington video, I'll show the link in the description. That video is actually in downtown Calgary, so you already have a feeling of what the vibe of downtown is. So if you are young and hippie and you want to be exposed to all of the restaurants, so there's a place 17th Ave. That's where is all the food, everything is there. So it's like a street filled with restaurants and bars and lounges. So if you are into that kind of life, you can just come downtown. Like it's cool here. Like I love Calgary personally because it's a mix of that chilled life. You want the chilled, relaxed life, you can get it. Just move to the suburbs and you are good. And if you want a bit more exposure, you are more outgoing. You want a bit of the nightlife, you can also get that in Calgary. And downtown is mostly where that is. And then of course you have some schools downtown. So SAIT means Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, is located somewhere downtown. We also have Bow Valley College downtown. So yeah, we have some schools downtown too. Because we are downtown, you have access to the train. So you have all the metro, depending on where you're coming from. So you can easily just jump on the metro if you're going to the south. You have access to it. If you're going to the north, you have access to it. And most companies also have offices downtown, so if you happen to be walking downtown, it's perfect for you, right? And then, so for shopping, so shopping downtown, like I said earlier, if I want to do something that I need urgently, I can grab them from all the stores we have downtown. We have Safeway, we have Co-op. We just recently got Superstore, the one I said is the equivalent of Walmart. We just got it downtown. It's a brand new store, so that's good. And you can just take train there, right? And grab what you want and come back up. So that's actually good. But if you want to go out of your way and do some bigger shopping, or you want to get into the northeast and do your bulk shopping, of course, take the train or drive there and you're good. And of course, regarding sites and what you want to see, like what to see downtown, because it's downtown, of course, there's a lot more to see. Like downtown looks beautiful at night. A lot of carnivals, a lot of events happen downtown, and if you're ever here for the Stampede, that also happens closer to downtown. So depending on where you live downtown, you can probably walk, like stroll down to a lot of these things downtown. And then the other question that Temi asked was if there's a site where you can find potential roommates. So what I would say is, like I mentioned in the initial video that led to this, it's Rent Faster is actually where I got my shared apartment. And so you just go to Rent Faster, you specify that you're looking for a shared apartment. So you would have people that will put it up and say, oh, I'm looking for a roommate for this. So some people will, say for instance, I move downtown and I get a 2-bedroom apartment. So I need a roommate because maybe a 2-bedroom apartment downtown is, for example, $1,500. If I get a roommate, that means I pay half of that, the other person pays half of that. So sometimes you have those people put it up, and some people also have their own house and they say, you know what, I want to rent each room to different people, so they put it up as shared. So just use all those resources that I mentioned in the previous video, Rent Faster, Padmap, and just specify that you're looking for a shared apartment, and you find a lot of them there. So this is supposed to be a short video. I hope this answers Temi's question. Please, if you have any question like this, let's talk about it. We can have a separate thing that is like video requests, so you guys can make a request. What do you want to see? What do you want to know about Calgary or Canada? And then we can some of them are probably something that we can just answer in the comment section, but if it's something that we feel we should do a video for, then we just go ahead and do it. So thank you again for watching up to this point. This is supposed to be a short video. I hope it's actually not too long. Yeah, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Yes, so there were some comments from some previous videos about the audio not being good. So that's why I have this. So just so you guys know, we actually read all of those comments, and we're trying to improve the channel. We're trying to make it better for you. I don't know what happened to the audio in that one. I think there's a lot of noise or something, but yes, we are working on improving that. So now we have a microphone. So thank you for that. Thank you for that feedback.